Our guest here, I didn't get to write much of an intro for because he was a late addition. He was a text. He wasn't even on the promo. He does not like being called a junior. He's had a t-shirt company of which I'm wearing right now that's no longer here, but this was a wonderful t-shirt. He is the brother of a driver who actually does have a junior at the end of his name. He's none other than Ryan Truex here on the Money Live. He won at Dover this year. You are the only Xfinity Series driver right now on this podcast that's won an Xfinity Series race. Congratulations. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Very honored to be here.
All that build up, and I get the driest response on the planet.
Hi.
What was that?
Hi, Landon.
Hey, how's it going? Mustache is looking great.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I got to trim up the rest a little bit, but
is that just an off season? Is this off season facial hair? And then what's the strategy for Daytona?
I don't know yet. It's a work in progress. We'll see. I'm just workshopping it, seeing how it goes, seeing what everybody thinks, and
put it in the wind tunnel.
I debut with,
you know. Yeah. See what the drag coefficient is in the wind tunnel, and go from there.
Yeah, with the flow in the back, it's a lot. So we'll see.
My man, it's finally announced. You can be back in the Xfinity Series once again to terrorize us at Dover, many other tracks. Part of Joe Gibbs Racing once again. That's got to feel good to get it out there.
It does, yeah. And it's been in the works for a while. So I'm happy to be back, and hopefully I get to run Dover and a few other tracks that I really like, and add to the win column. Hopefully you can join me on the all-times wins list. I know Landon texted me after Dover and said, congrats. We were no longer tied, but you two still are. So hopefully you can work on that this year.
I know. It's such an illustrious place to be in the egg column. I want to go more into like your upcoming plans and such, but we got to tell this story because I've told it a couple places, but it'd be fun with you. So you win Dover. I got wrecked out. I actually fail. I don't leave because with like 15 to 20 to go, you're leading. And I'm like, if this runs green, you've got this in the bag. And the whole time I'm thinking, don't throw a yellow. Everyone just run this thing out. Let him have this because it was what, 10. Yeah, it was 10 years prior to that. You were basically in position to win at Dover, and it got taken away with a late race yellow. So I knew the history. You're a good friend of mine. I'm rooting for you. Shannon and I are walking towards the tunnel, and it's now like 8 to go, or the bridge. And I'm like, we can't leave. She's like, why? I was like, he's going to win. I got to go there, be there when he wins. So you win. Awesome moment. Crowd goes wild. I walk towards victory lane and then to pit lane where you've done the burnout, you've done everything on there. And now you're coming down pit lane, and I'm about to run up to your car and say like, hey man, congrats. Then I realize Fox is still filming this. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see this crazy guy running down the pit lane. It was your brother. And he runs into the window, hugs you ever. I almost ruined this amazing moment between you and your brother as you won. So I just want to apologize if I had almost ruined it. But it was a really cool time. And I feel
that was one of the most fired up
awesome.
I've ever seen him, for sure.
Yeah.
He was.
I've never seen him like that.
Yeah. Waving his arms and running around, and his hands were shaking. He was pretty pumped up.
He was
just
flailing around.
You've made your announcement. So tell us kind of a little bit more about your plans and what you have going on. It's, I saw the JGR's announcement, and there's a hell of a driver lineup, with the quality of drivers, but also the quantity. I mean, there's I think 8 drivers in their lineup for next year in Xfinity. So kind of what's going on there?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, obviously, to take on for any team. So, expanding to another car, and a few new crew chiefs in the lineup, which is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be great. And Sheldon has been so close to winning races the past year, and Chandler's obviously a proven winner. Then you've got Eric, who's got so much experience, and he's a Cup winner, and he's been to so many teams and manufacturers. I think it just brings a lot to the table for the team, and obviously helps the younger guys out having a veteran presence like that. So I expect all four to be really good and all four to be able to battle for wins. But yeah, it should be interesting. Xfinity in general is going to be pretty stacked next year, so I think winning races is going to be tough. And if you can do it, you can definitely say you've done a really good job.
So,
Did
how many are
you
you running?
hand pick your
Do you know?
schedule?
Do you
Oh,
know
go
yet?
ahead. Go ahead, Parker.
Sorry, no, that. Are you able to
Yeah,
say?
it's more than I have run. It'll
Okay.
be in the double digits, but still, yeah, still work in progress as far as the schedule and things like that. But yeah, it should be a pretty healthy schedule, and hopefully I get to run the tracks I want, and we'll see.
Winning works. It helps. It
Winning,
always
yeah,
helps.
winning does
You
work.
get some leverage with
It
winning.
helps everything. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's awesome. Oh, Landon, I thought you were jumping in.
Well, I
Yeah,
was,
you
yeah, I
always look
was.
like you're
I
about
didn't
to
want to
talk
knock
and you
over
never
either.
say anything.
He
Wait,
did
so
look like he
I
was
mean,
about to
you
jump
said that
in.
you're
I let
kind of
him go.
hoping that you get the tracks. You're hoping that you get the tracks that you want. I mean, what's your top 5 list? Kind of where do you feel like fits in your wheelhouse? Being a part-time schedule, I'd imagine winning is the priority for you selfishly, right? Like you're like, hey, I want to be at the tracks that I know
Yeah,
I can win
yeah,
at.
absolutely.
So which ones are those?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dover's one that I love and feel comfortable at and know I could be fast. I've always liked Phoenix. I finished second there a few times now and feel like I know what it takes to win a race there, as far as what you need in the car. And really what hurt me this past year was really just my qualifying effort. I tried to do the big dog leg cut, taking the green, and I drove into one and completely missed the corner. And it's so hard to pass there that once you're behind the 8 ball on qualifying and stuck back in dirty air, it's tough to make it up. And I got lucky at the end and had a few good restarts and was able to make my way back to the front. Once we got there, we were fast and ran down Sammy and just kind of ran out of time. So Phoenix, I'd really like to run again. Richmond, I've always loved. Obviously, JGR has always been really good there, which helps. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Loudon would be another one I want to run. Aside from that, I'd like to run some more mile and a halves. I didn't really have much of that this past year. I ran Vegas in 2022 and felt really good about it up until I wrecked at the end. Yeah, I think Dover, Richmond, Phoenix, Loudon are my top 4. Past that, really, I'll take whatever I can get, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You also have done a lot of sim testing for Toyota, Joe
Oh yeah,
Gibbs. You expect that to continue in New Year? It's not just Xfinity, it's Cup stuff. You do a lot of this. I mean, I don't know how much you can put out there, but I believe it's, hours of a day at times. You're just in that dark room driving virtual race cars.
yeah. So that'll continue. Yeah, so we just kind of went through the numbers. Um, I ran over 25,000 laps on the Cup side this year, so
Wow.
definitely
Whew.
spent some time in the simulator. And it's honestly it's been great. It's helped me a lot. Um, kind of from a feedback side of things. Getting to work with Cup guys and look at Cup data and listen to how those guys describe things and what they work on, what they look at. Um, that's helped me a lot. And just in general, kind of finding the limit of a tire at every track and little things that you can pick up on in the simulator that are really so close to real life. I feel like that has helped me, not so much my, racecraft, but my one lap speed, my ability to show up to the track and, right off the truck, be fast and be, right at the limit of grip and doing everything I need to be fast. I feel like that's where it's really helped me excel, especially this past year. I felt like, the hardest thing as a part-time driver is really that last tenth or two at the racetrack. And,
Mm-hmm.
when you show up off the truck and you haven't raced in a while and you've got to go do a 20-minute practice and if you want to know what your stuff's going to do, you got to drive it to the limit right away.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you go out on sticker tires. So it's really, really helped me with that. And, it's helped me learn how to process data and look at SMT, all the little things that I think help you become a better prepared driver for sure.
You know, you brought up something that made me think of a personal, like kind of part of my personal process, which is focusing on the limit of the tire, right? Especially when you're in an unknown scenario, right? So the scenario you mentioned is you don't have a lot of practice, you don't race every week, right? So you're having to hop in a car and find the limit of the tire right away, right? So testing in the Cup Sim and working with different engineers, driving for different teams' cars, driving a Cup car versus an Xfinity car has helped teach you like to focus on the tire, right? And not get in a rut of just the car that you're driving and driving the same car over and over again. And I can't help but identify with that myself, because I've found at times when I've gotten in a rut or I'm struggling to find that speed that I could go in iRacing and just hop in any car in iRacing and actually intentionally run different types of cars at any track, because it forces you to break habits that you know from those cars and just focus on the tire, right? And just focus on what you're feeling. And I think that's a very good fundamental for a race car driver to always remember, that you're just looking for a feel of the tire. And when you can simplify it to that, then I think it can free you from this thought of like, well, I'm driving an Xfinity car, I'm driving a Cup car, I'm driving, whatever. And just know that it's a race car with an engine and a tire.
Yeah, no, for sure. The Cup tire and really the Cup car in general is really different from the Xfinity car. So yeah, that like I said, it's a lot different getting in an Xfinity car after running Cup sim stuff. But the stuff you mentioned still applies. You're still trying to find the limit and drive the car to its maximum potential, to the edge of the tire as much as you can. So it definitely helps for sure.
It's amazing what you can learn in these sims these days. And 25,000 laps. Do you get paid by the lap?
No.
No? No? Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. That would be pretty lucrative, if it's the right number.
That was it. Yeah, that number came from his final
that'd be a great deal.
So, first of all, congratulations. Glad to have you back in the series. Before we let you go, we do a question of the day for every guest here on Money Lap Live. And this one has been a fun one so far. So basically, what are you most looking forward to in the motorsports world in 2024 that isn't your own racing, not to do with you in motorsports? Something else out there. It can be anything in motorsports, but something you're looking forward to.
That's a good question. There's a lot, really. My fiance Leah always jokes that our life on the weekends is racing, even when I'm not at the track, because I'm watching everything and following everything. I hope selfishly as a fan that F1 is a little more exciting next year, but I don't really have my fingers crossed for that.
Yep.
But as far as one thing I'm looking forward to, I think I'd say probably Iowa for the Cup Series, because I feel like that's had a lot of hype and a lot of people talking for a long time of wanting it to happen. So I think to finally see that happen is going to be really cool. And I hope it's a really good race, and I hope, that they sell the place out and the fans have an awesome experience. And hopefully I can, be a spectator at the track for that one, because I think it's going to be a really cool one to watch.
That's a good point. That's a good one. I agree with you on Iowa. The comment on F1, I will just make a cynical comment here real quick. So it's like the worst possible scenario for us as F1 fans next year would be if Max Verstappen won like 8 races and still won the championship. Because then it'd just be like, it was like he still dominated, or 10 races, like he still won half the season.
Not like it did this year.
Right. Like I would rather it's completely the other direction, and it's Lando Norris's year and McLaren rises back or whatever, or Max Verstappen wins every race and we just see another legendary season, and that's something to follow. But if he just goes down a half a step but still wins the title, it's like when your football team covers the spread but loses the game or something.
So we need him to either
Get
win every
boring.
single race or win no races.
Yeah,
No
it
middle
needs to be
ground.
mass domination, or give it. Hopefully somebody else can step up.
Or wins 3 races and has a real battle. That'd be nice too.
Yeah,
That's
or
fun.
a good battle. Like
Yeah, a battle would be cool.
he can have the championship if it's a battle. But the last thing I want to
There
see
you
is
go.
like 12-win season.
Still
Or
wins
10-win
by
season.
150 points.
It still wins by 150 points, and they're just like, oh, there's another boring F1 year.
Oh,
It won't
man.
be boring if you win
exactly.
20 races.
No. I wore this shirt just for you, Ryan. Just for you, and I knew you were coming on the show.
I appreciate it.
Save Short Tracks. We
Nice of you.
appreciate you coming
Very
on
nice
here
of you.
finally. You made it.
I
Final
like
show.
your setup. Very professional looking.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we try here. This is the corner of a room, actually. Real people
Landon,
who
not
they
so
know.
much. You just
His
look
is the-
like you're in a random boardroom.
Well, no, he's at Cassill's couch. Hold on, show the couch. This couch is important. Not to be confused with the casting couch. It's Cassill's couch.
What?
Anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know what that means.
Bye. You can go look at. Go Google it. Good luck.
No, don't Google it.
All right,
Don't.
guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, Parker Kligerman here. I haven't won every race I've competed in. I know it's a shocker, but one thing I'm hoping to do, get you to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon below, because that helps us make this awesome Money Lap content. The Money Lap YouTube channel, please join us. We need more than just our moms watching.